Welcome aboard. Yes, sir. It is time to rock and roll. How you guys doing out there? Hope all is well. We're coming to you live from the Champions Simulcast Center. In fact, over the next month, we're actually here at the Champions Simulcast Center. We'll be out here for the entire month. Why? Because we've got the National Horse Players Championship coming on January 12th. We'll be actually out here on January 12th, actually watching everybody wager and maybe learn a little something along the way, right? I mean, it's not like we're horse racing experts or anything like that, but do love horse racing, so it's pretty cool to be able to check it out and see the race for thousands of dollars here at Hialeah Park. Anyway, we are going to be out here. Oh, man, we're going to be here a little past 4 o'clock, of course, because Daryl Stewart is going to join us from Mid-Ohio Doll Fan Club. So we'll have some fun with Daryl at the end of the show. Andy Behrens will stop by in about an hour at 1:30 to talk a little fantasy football. So we'll have a little fun with Andy, as always. And we appreciate those of you checking in here. I hope you're able to hear everything today. I think you'll be able to hear the interviews and everything along the way. Hopefully we have fixed that issue for you here on YouTube. But anyway, so we'll be able to do that. And if you're going to come out to Hialeah like some of you have over the last couple of months, we are at the Simulcast Center, which is south of the poker room in the second floor, but it's over by the track side, obviously. And then this place is beautiful, man. Got a big, beautiful bar. Got the cafeteria there, so you can have some food. In fact, they're serving this gentleman some delicious food right now as we speak. And then you've got all the desks back there with all the TVs everywhere. You can wager on tracks all across the country. And, of course, we've got the National Horse Player Championship qualifier coming here to Hialeah Park on the 12th of January. And you can grand prize is $5,000. You're giving away $10,000. So you got a shot there. So come on out and join us. Eddie is saying, how are you doing, my man? Looking forward to another great show. Thank you very much. Appreciate all of you tuning in. Ernie, Emilio, a bunch of E's that are sending in some texts here on the show. Interesting. We got a bunch of things to talk about. We're heading into the weekend. We got the weekend games. We got actually, I don't know if you know this, but we got somebody that you want to watch tonight. You know that, right?
Who is that?
He's absolutely smoking as a quarterback.
I have no idea.
Jordan Love. Didn't he just got busted? He just got busted with a little weed. Well, Utah State is in action tonight on ESPN2 at 7:30. So tonight, as a Dolphins fan, you're watching Jordan Love for the hell of it, right? I know I am. You're also watching the Heat kick the Knicks' ass. And then also the Panthers are in action against the Islanders. It's a hell of a night tonight in sports, man. I mean, and plus whatever other NBA action that's going on that you might be interested in. Like last night, I was watching both games. I got to admit, I watched Milwaukee beat the Lakers, and you have to admit this, okay? Most Heat fans were rooting for Milwaukee yesterday, right? Because those of us that are on Team Petty, and I'm one of them that, whatever, when LeBron was here, great, fine. And he was able to resolve his issue and get over the hump and all of that, but he needed Miami in order to get over that hump, okay? So I will always be a guy that is, against LeBron as it is. So when I can watch him lose, for me, that is actually very pleasurable. If I can actually watch him lose, I think that's a cool thing. I didn't even notice that the speaker was on in the background for the iPod. And so, anyway, I have no problem watching him lose. Okay, and last night I got to admit I was definitely rooting for Milwaukee, and they ended up getting it done, 111 or 104. Giannis. If Giannis is now going to hit threes, it's over, bro. Over. And the interesting dynamics of that team. Last night, I was talking a little bit about this on our Sirius show, and that everybody was gun ho on getting 3 stars together. Remember? And the Celtics did it, the Heat did it, and obviously Golden State's done it. The Spurs did it for many, many, many years.
That's
with the big
become
three.
the formula. If you want to win the championship, you got to have 3.
Okay, but that formula is wiped out now. Now the trend is 2 guys. Okay, Westbrook and Harden, and LeBron and AD, and Kawhi and Paul George, and so it's kind of become a 2 thing now, not a 3 thing anymore. And that's why this season is a little bit more open than other seasons. But Milwaukee is 1. They only have 1 star. Chris Middleton is their second best player, and he's one of those guys that you would have a discussion, an argument to get him in as an all-star. It would be one of those where a few people would have him as all-star. A lot of people say, borderline, I'd have him just outside. Because he's a really good player, but not an all-star, maybe in most people's eyes. You know what I mean? And so it's really not approval on you're a star, right? In other words, the Heat is not trading for Chris Middleton to be the centerpiece of their team. They'll do it for Jimmy Butler, but not for Chris Middleton. Why? Because Butler is a legitimate all-star, not superstar, all-star. So now you got the Bucks. They got 1 superstar. Not 2, 1. And it works. I mean, kudos to the front office, the way they have that designed, and all those guys and all those shooters around him. And now he's going to become a shooter too. Because last night he went 5 of 8 from 3-point range. That was impressive last night, and I was rooting for it because obviously I wanted the Bucks to win last night. AD did get 36 and 10, and LeBron added 21 and 12 along with 11 assists for his triple-double, but not enough as the Bucks beat the Lakers, and they improved to 25 and 4. The Lakers dropped to 24 and 5. Those are incredible records, and you can go look. I think this might be the Lakers' maybe 2nd loss on the road, only maybe 3rd.
That's correct.
Yeah.
They lost the other night to Indianapolis.
So this is their 3rd loss, I think, now on the road. Then it's 2nd or 3rd. I mean, it's pretty impressive. I think they had 1 going into the Indiana game, and I think Indiana handed them their 2nd loss, and then now this might be. I think this is their 3rd road loss. They don't lose a lot on the road. Pretty impressive. And so last night, you saw that. And Houston, I can't buy. I went to sleep after that game, which was like a little past 1 o'clock last night to watch that one. And when I know that, listen, you've got those 2 electric guys, and Harden is amazing. Okay, Harden he is so fun to watch, and the control he has of his handle and what he wants to do with the defender is super impressive. I mean, really, it's one of those things that you just got to tip your hat to because it is magic. Westbrook is just a fierce athlete that has this incredible hunger, but he is not an efficient player. And he will do stupid things like yesterday, getting into it, Patrick Beverley, and then getting the tech. And it's like, dude, you got him out. They're throwing him out of the game. Why are you now going to be jawing with him? And then right in front, and he's doing it literally in front of the referee, who tees him up, and then Harden has to push his ass back. And it's just, Westbrook is one of those guys that you admire the effort. You admire the work ethic. You love plays with. But there's a level of irresponsibility that comes to it with his game that it's also going to cost you along the way. I mean, what was it? I wrote it down. 13 of 30, I think it was last night. He shot 13 of 31, 2 of 6 from 3-point range, and he scored 40 points. He also had 8 turnovers. Okay? And it was a really tight game at that moment where he picks up the tech, and it's like Harden's like, dude, are you looking at the scoreboard? Like, we're at the end of the game. Like, relax. take it easy, and he's got to kind of control him a little bit on that one. So watched a little basketball last night as the Rockets improved to 19-9. The Clippers are 21-9, interesting game to watch, because I tell you that Kawhi Leonard and Paul George combination, when you get to the playoffs and those guys are it up, and they are elite defenders. That's the other thing, that when you talk about Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, you know they're elite players, you know that they're superstars, you know they can score the basket, but when it comes to defending, and really defending almost any position on the court practically, except maybe center for these guys, but these two cats can defend anything. I mean, that block he had on Westbrook's drive yesterday was just a thing of beauty. It was awesome to watch last night. So watched a little basketball. Tonight we'll watch a little more basketball. And I'm going to be torn, right? Because this game for the Heat is really not important. Because it's the Knicks. They suck. The Knicks are pathetic. It's not a rivalry. I mean, let's be honest. Miami can mix with – that's how bad the Knicks are. Okay? I mean, really. If Goran was healthy and even Winslow and James Johnson and Olynyk and all, they would beat the Knicks. Okay? And use the guys after them as their bench. Not the five. Not the starting five. You'll beat the Knicks. With these guys, you're going to wreck the Knicks. The good thing is about this Heat team is that they don't take the lesser teams lightly. The other day when they lost to Memphis, they lost to a team that was red hot at that moment. And that's why, you know, hey, things happen, whatever. But tonight, I know that they'll take care of business against the Knicks. But it is a shame that the Knicks have been so pathetic for 20-plus years now. You know, it really is a shame, because that's a fun rivalry. Miami, New York is always a fun rivalry, any way you put it, any way you slice it, because we are the sixth borough. We have so many New Yorkers that live down here. So whenever it's Knicks or Jets or whatever it is, tonight's the Islanders. Not that the Islanders are the same as the Rangers. That brings out more fans. But still, it's always a great thing for the rivalry purposes. But there is no rivalry, because the Heat organization has been, you know, a really good organization for a long, long time. And the Knicks have been a terrible organization for an incredibly long time. And that's just the way it is. And that's where tonight I'll be watching the game, but it'll be kind of half-assed, I got to admit, because I'm going to be more worried about the Panthers, because it means so much more tonight that the Panthers win than even the Heat. Even if the Heat would lose tonight to the Knicks, it would mean nothing. They got a great cast. They're having an excellent year. They got a bad night, whatever. You move on. You sweep it under the rug. The Panthers lose tonight, it starts to add to all the hairiness that we've got going on right now with the team.
Would that make 3 losses to the Islanders? We lost to at their place. We lost to them last week.
I think you're right.
3.
I think you're right.
It would be 3.
Well, they're a better team.
No,
right?
look, I know the Islanders are like, I think number 2 in
23-8-4, and they're
They're
16-12-5. So
I think they're right behind Washington.
yeah, they're a top 3 seed.
They're like a couple 4 points.
I think they're a top 3 seed. I'm pretty sure of that. They're either the second or third. I think they're the third seed.
But like you're saying, it's also a better game, man. Us against the Islanders. We should
No, we should not wipe the
Knicks
team
out.
The Knicks, yes.
Wipe the Knicks out.
Yeah,
like
but this, like, I'm concerned about the Panthers because they're 4-4 on a homestand that you knew you needed to have a great homestand. 5 on this homestand, and like Bill said, now that's a good point. This is your third loss now to the Islanders, if that really happens, and you have to really start putting some doubt in there. You know, I know they beat a bad team the other night. I'm glad they beat them at least, and that's important that they win good. It was fun to watch, 6-1, whatever. 600 goals in it. It's great. But tonight is the one that it means a lot. And then to a lesser extent, I'll be watching Jordan just to kind of see, because you never know. He might be a project pick in the second or third rounds for the Miami Dolphins.
He brings the power of weed.
Yeah, there you go. That's right. So maybe if you draft Jordan Love here to the state of Florida, knowing his affinity for pot, the legislators maybe fast forward this whole thing and legalize it. That could happen. Hey, Dolphins have drafted Joe. He loves weed, so let's accommodate him. That's all. Nothing wrong with that. We'll call it the Dolphin Law. That's all, and we'll fast forward that law and become recreational, just for Jordan Love. There you go. Gotta love it. Utah State. My man is in Utah State and smoking weed. I wonder, is it harder to get weed in Utah than any other state?
You know something? That's
I wonder.
you know what? That's one of those situations where, because of the mountains and this and all these little crevices, it's probably easy to grow.
Yes.
And there's a whole bunch of that going on.
That's probably true. It's probably very true. Although they can only grow it for a certain amount of months, right? Because they're not growing them right now. Right now, those mountains are pretty damn cold.
Yeah.
Never been. That's one place I do want to go to ski. Okay, not to marry 4 women, but to ski is Utah, because everybody says that outside of Colorado, right?
U.S. I was at Steins Erickson Lodge and all that. Man, Park City is amazing.
Right, that's everybody says it. That's on a bucket list for me.
The thing that's cool when you're driving up to Park City, okay, you can look back in the valley and literally look down in and up to what's it called? What is it? The city. Yeah.
Oh, you mean Salt Lake?
Yeah, Salt Lake, and it's got the down the valley and then up the valley. Literally.
Totally.
It's a beautiful, beautiful view.
Totally.
Totally.
All right. We're in the valley. Totally. And we are at Champion Simulcast Center. Come on out here. We're on the bar side. I don't know. Did Frank plan this? Like, he puts us always by the bar. Does he think I'm an alcoholic? Or does he know that I'm an alcoholic?
We are over here just because of the Ethernet connection.
Okay? Sure. I think Frank's saying, hey, sit here and have a couple of drinks. What I do love is that we're set up and we've got 4 TVs. We're like right in front of us, which is awesome. You know what I mean? I got to tell you something. I'm gonna have to wager on a race, because I'm kind of like in a little Vegas right now. I'm like in a little Vegas mode right now. Okay, doing the show, checking out the TVs, looking at the horses lining up. That's Tampa Bay Downs right there. They're about to set one off now at Tampa Bay Downs. I like it. How about that? What do you think?
What do we got? We got Laurel Park. We got Gulfstream.
Yeah.
And Tampa.
Yeah.
I mean, they got all the bases covered.
Yeah. I like it. This is so cool. So we got that going on here. So come on out to the Champion Simulcast Center. You can come out and wager on some of the races out here. And you can sign up for the Horse Players Championship too. Maybe you can win the $5,000. If you do, you got to take me and Bill out, by the way. Okay. That's just kind of the requirement. Okay. Oh, you take on the you signing 4-star QB Tyler Van Dyke. Brother, we've heard of Tyler Van Dyke for a long, long time. We'll see. I don't get excited about any player whatsoever, although I will say this about Tyler Van Dyke. Because Andrew Ivins, I believe, several months ago was at some, I don't know if it was a game of time. Maybe it wasn't a game. Maybe it was one of those 7-on-7s or All-American high school thing.
That's what it was. It was Sando, the championship or something.
I saw his arm, and I will say this. Kid's got a rocket arm. Now, we'll find out if he knows where the hell to throw that arm. You know what I mean? Because I've seen lots of guys that have rocket arms, and they have no idea where it's going at times, i.e. Josh Allen. So, that does happen. We'll find out. But apparently the Tyler Van Dyke kid has got a lot of talent, and we'll see if it translates now to, here. We'll find out. I mean, that's what else are you going to do?
You know what I was thinking about it? Of the positions, those 4 and 5 star, whatever. You think of Dorsey, you think of Walsh, blah. We probably have had a better return on the quarterback than any other position. All the other ones have been iffy, whatever, but the quarterbacks have probably been a 50-50.
Okay.
I would say.
Okay. Yeah. But for Manny, it better be 100 for him, because after this season, my man's going to need all the help he can get next year to turn this thing around and to convince a lot of people like myself, because I'm starting to think I was wrong for, wanting Manny and egging on Manny and all that good stuff. I thought for sure he was the right guy, like a lot of you out there. And most of us cannot say that we have the same conviction. The only people that have the same conviction about Manny Diaz is his family. That's it. The Diaz family. Outside of that, I don't believe anybody else really has the same kind of conviction that Manny is a great coach. You can hear him screaming in the background with the race going on.
Hey, do you think
this is a Gulfstream right now? What's going on?
Because of the way Manny came in and let his mouth and let his rear end,
I'm just laughing.
do you think that maybe that is a contributing factor, low key, and you know what I mean?
Maybe.
And not been so much up in the press and we're going to be Canes and old school. And
it didn't help.
Yeah.
It didn't help. It didn't help.
Well, then he brought this on itself.
Yeah, the race is done clearly, and that's why everybody quieted down. That was great. That was fantastic. Anyway, so we'll be out here for a few hours, and at 1:30, we're going to have Andy Behrens from Yahoo Fantasy joining us here on the program. We'll have a little fun with Andy, and we'll get his. It is Super Bowl week for those of you out there, and hopefully those of you made it to the Super Bowl, and hopefully Andy has helped you. Oh, odd question. Have you ever watched Highlight, and is it still happening in Miami? I bet you did not think you would get a Highlight question. I've seen Highlight several times. I have broadcasted from Highlight, Miami Highlight. I used to broadcast from Miami Highlight all the time. When I did Spanish sports talk, which was La Ensalada Deportiva in Radio Acción in 8:30 a.m. back in the day. This was 92, 93, I want to say it was.
Real once upon a time.
Yeah. I mean, 91 was my first year. I want to say it was 92 was when I was at Radio Acción. And we used to go every week to Miami Highlight, and I had a blast. Is it still going on? Yes. And a little nugget for you, Dougie Fresh. If you go to Miami Highlight, the players there are mostly former University of Miami football players. There you go. Go to and put Canes players playing Highlight, and you'll see the story come up. It might have been Michelle Kaufman, actually, or I forgot who it was. Maybe Manny Navarro. One of them wrote a story about now how former players, several of them, are now playing Highlight there at Miami Highlight. Now, the auditorium is no longer dominated by Highlight. It's only like 2 or 3 rows of seats right in front of the court where they play. I mean, it's limited, like 20 people, 30 people, and that's packed. That's where it's at right now. They're hurting. Obviously, it's a sport that's pretty much dead almost.
Are they still playing in Dania?
I think Dania still has also, and
but it's been scaled down.
Yeah, they're all scaled down, dude. I mean, they all were severely scaled down.
What was the other player?
And we don't even.
Fort Pierce was the other one.
Yeah, and they may still be around. I'm not sure, but they used to have the tournaments, man. Back then.
Yes.
I used to cover the tournaments.
Joey was probably still playing back then, correct?
Yeah, I had Joey on my show a couple of years ago when he got inducted into the Broward County Hall of Fame. He was inducted the same year with Zach Thomas. And
Joey goes back to the days of my dad going to highlight.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yeah. No, I had a girlfriend that was in love with Joey. Like, we'd go and she'd be Google Gaga over Joey.
You know what? Highlight actually is a really cool game to watch, man.
It's a great game.
It is a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a great game, dude. Great game.
Do you know back in the day?
Difficult too.
Bro. When
I tried it.
Yeah.
Oh, I had
your hand wrapped up in
I had access to all that stuff back in the day.
Right.
And so they brought me into the court and they gave me a cesta and all that. And, they handed me the ball and I'm trying to throw
Fastest moving ball in sports, they say.
I'm trying to throw it. I can't throw it. There's no way I can catch it. It's just like, oh, man.
Didn't you play track ball as a kid, man? Didn't you have a track ball?
Oh, God.
It didn't matter, right?
Not like that. Not like that.
Well, you're strapped in.
Yes.
That's the problem. You can't
spin
you can't spin the handle
it's
like a tennis
odd.
racket. Yeah.
It's really odd. It's a skill set that you got to have.
Just a little tidbit. Miami Highlight back in the day, Guinness Book of World when we were kids. It was the world's largest fronton for highlight. It was the world's largest fronton.
Hey, when I was a kid, parents used to make it all the time there, man. All the freaking time.
That used to be Miami Highlight, that Dinner Key Auditorium and Jackie Gleason Theater. Those were the three places you could do a concert here. Joplin, Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, supposedly Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah.
The Doors, of course, went to Dinner Key and he whipped out Bach. But Miami Highlight, there was one of three options: Dinner Key and Jackie Gleason. That was it.
Ernie Cabrera says, Big O, I'm ready to hear Andy's comments on whether he agrees with you on starting Tannehill over Wentz this weekend. LOL. Yeah, I know. I can't believe, but I had to tell you Tannehill because Wentz has no receivers, man. All his guys are injured, and he doesn't have a running game. Consistent.
Bro, let me solidify
Although
that.
I like Miles.
Look, I own both of them as my. I have Mahomes and Tannehill, and he was projected to score more than Mahomes last week. Okay.
Well, Mahomes has been dealing with a hand injury,
right? But nonetheless,
so that's got a hand injury in your throwing hand. It's got to affect you, dude. So that's the thing. But he's healthy at least, like his team. I'm saying the guys around him. But Wentz has nobody. No one. They're like, they got backups. They got a back that's running. By the way, the former quarterback,
kids playing decent.
Greg Ward. Fun fact for you: Greg Ward beat Pat Mahomes for the district high school championship locally, and at quarterback. Greg was a quarterback. Mahomes was a quarterback. Greg now is a receiver at this level, but when they were both in high school, Ward beat Mahomes for the district title.
Is it Houston? Any quarterback, I think?
I have no idea. Who?
Ward.
Oh, I don't remember now. Now I'm
for some reason, I'm thinking the other night we were watching the game and he had the 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it was.
Says Big O, you having audio problems? I don't know about that. Let's see.
Is it Houston?
No.
Any quarterback, I think?
Doesn't sound like it, dude. You're having. Okay. So it's perfect. I have it up. Like I have the screen here so I can answer your questions and stuff like that. But I can raise the volume up like that if you tell me that I'm having audio, because we have had audio issues the last couple of days. But right now it doesn't sound like there's any audio issue whatsoever. Okay? Sounds perfect to me right there. So if there's any audio issues, it might be your connection there, my man, unfortunately. I know that we've been screwing up lately, and I apologize for that. I put Mevo on blast yesterday on social media. We'll see if
I saw that. I like that a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, the losers haven't answered. So, that's where I would say, you know what? This is not a good company. They don't answer on regular emails. They take forever. They got terrible service and communication, and you even call them out on social media, and they don't even answer. So I guess the company must be doing really well, and they don't need any extra customers or anything like that. But warning for you that if you do buy a Mevo camera, be careful. The service is absolutely terrible. So if you do have an issue, if you have an issue with the camera, you're toast, dude. You're not going to be able to do anything whatsoever. So We got Heat and Knicks tonight, a game that, man, I wish I could look forward to, but I can't. The only thing, although I will say this. No, you know what? I was going to tell you that, yeah, at least to get to kick the Knicks' ass, but I'm kind of tired of that. It's like boring already. It's like, you're way better than the Knicks. They're a terrible organization. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of what I've told you in the past, that like the last 20 years, like the last 2 or 3 years, I got kind of tired already. It was tiresome hammering the dog for 20 years because it's 20 years of stupidity. Yeah, it gets to a point where you're just tired of pointing out, why are you so bad? That kind of stuff. And I would say that I would take some pleasure in it, but it's like you're 15 years old and you're playing your 11-year-old brother. And you're like laughing the entire time on one-on-one playing basketball, and you're going to win the game easily. But it's not something like if you were 15 and he was 14, or you're 17 and 16 and 18 and 16, where there's a little bit more even level playing field, and you can get some, pride, and you can enjoy it, and you can talk smack. Yeah. Playing your 11-year-old brother, you're actually entertaining him is what you're doing in the process. You're really not challenging yourself. You're entertaining him. And what's going on tonight? Tonight, it's the 15-year-old brother is taking the 9-year-old out. Not even brother, okay? Because let's not go brother here, because there's nothing about the Knicks that are brothers. They are like your, really, ugly adopted kid or something. And he's all lonely in the neighborhood. He has no friends. And you picked him up and you said, hey, let's go play a little basketball. He can't play. He can barely dribble. But you're going to entertain him for about an hour or two because there's nobody else to entertain. So tonight, the Miami Heat are going to entertain, the ugly adopted kid in the New York Knicks and just teach him a lesson. That's all.
To have a rivalry, you got to have kind of equal winning.
There is no reason. No.
But when you do say rivalry,
20 years already.
It goes through my head, man. Allen Houston, the layup.
Oh yeah,
right in the front of the.
I was there. Yeah, I saw it bouncing around. I was there. I saw that. I remember those days. But
was that the first 8 to be the one? Is that what that was?
I don't remember. I don't remember if that was the first or Denver did it before. I'm not exactly sure.
But that was the 8. They were 8. We were 1, and they beat us. That was one of those Michael Jordan.
I think so.
Not in the league type thing.
I think so. Yeah. I think so. What's it called? But this game is just one of those games that I wish I could look forward to, but it's just.
You can concentrate more on the Panthers, like you said.
That's what I'm going to do.
That's the only advantage.
It's not something. No Winslow tonight. Still dealing with the back injury, and Justice. I'll tell you, while you love him I do at least. I love him as a glue guy, and I've been a Justice fan and supporter, and I've had the patience to wait for him to develop, and he's developed. I don't think he'll ever get to the point that people may want him to be a offensive, juggernaut or anything like that. I don't think that's ever going to happen. But what you can't deny with Justice is he is injury prone, man. Wow. He has way too many injuries for my liking. That's the one thing that I would say, if you somehow can trade him, it would make a lot of sense to trade him. That would make a lot of sense if you could trade, because it's a guy that he's unreliable, unfortunately, physically unreliable. It's kind of weird, and I haven't heard anything. I got to look it up there, see if Goran Dragic. I think you're going to get Goran Dragic and back this week or today. I'm sorry. Not this week. I think it's today. You get both of them back. I have not seen the updates yet here.
The last that I saw, because I've got an eye on him for fantasy, it's like a day-to-day type. He's close. He is close.
Who are you talking about? Goran?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Goran is playing tonight. I think he's listed as questionable, but I want to say, because they've pretty much had shoot around. I haven't looked it up yet, but I would imagine that they talked about it, and maybe Winslow is not going to play. Goran Dragic has been upgraded to questionable for Friday's game against the Knicks, and that's according to the Sun Sentinel. Wojnarowski of ESPN reported that there's optimism that he plays. Okay, so.
With the groin, don't you hold him out? We don't need him for the Knicks. Don't you kind of hold him out?
That's what they've been doing.
Yeah,
that's what they're doing.
Don't need, let that groin sit for another day, right?
Well,
or do you want him to get some playing time?
That's the thing, because the next 3 games are really difficult.
Okay, so get him out there a little bit.
Yeah, you're playing like the Pacers.
Oh.
I think you play the Sixers again. I got to look it up. But you've got a couple of really tough games now in this homestand. This one is the easy game out of the homestand. The rest of the homestand happens to be absolutely brutal. And so that's why and he's been out for a while. So if he plays today, it's because they feel that he's healthy, that he's ready to go. That's the thing. So you got to play him at one point or another. And to play him in a game like this, you can kind of ease him in. And then the next couple of games that are going to be much more difficult, you will have now the opportunity to then enter this game and say, okay, I'm ready to go in the next game. And he can push himself a little bit more. But if you start off with a really tough game right from the get-go, you're going to have to push yourself, because that's the challenge. You're taking on one hell of a team. And if you're taking on a hell of a team, you're going to have to try. And that's what's going to happen to Miami now after this game against the New York Knicks, because this is the layup, as they say. The rest of the way, it becomes one hell of a challenge for Miami. Look, here's the schedule after tonight's game. They've got Utah on Monday, Indiana Friday. And then next Saturday, it'll be Philadelphia. The good thing is it's broken up. So you don't play Utah for 2 more days, gives you time to rest, gives Goran a little time that if he does play today, rest, and then get ready for Monday. Then they've got 4 days off until they play Indiana from Monday to Friday. And then it'll be a back-to-back set because they'll play Indiana and Philadelphia on Saturday. So this stretch coming up now is a bitch. Then they go to Washington, come back to play Toronto, at Orlando, home against Portland, at Indiana, at Brooklyn. It's not an easy stretch coming up. Okay, with the road and the teams that you're playing, most of these teams are actually pretty difficult. Utah, Indiana, Philadelphia, Toronto, Portland, Indiana, and Brooklyn. 7 of your next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games. 7 of your next 10 games are difficult games. The easy ones are the 2 Knicks games, and I know, should I call Orlando easy? Because no, I should not. Actually, 8 of the 10 are difficult.
Because always a pain.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. So 8 of the 10 are difficult. This is not an easy stretch for Miami right now. Not just the homestand, but right after that. Nice. And you know what? We could find out. Now, when you're done with Brooklyn on the 10th of January, and you've played those 10 games, we can now say, okay, after this stretch, what did they do? And let's see how because I told you 8 of the 10 are difficult, right? 7 are good teams. The 8th one, obviously, is Orlando. Let's see how many of those they win in this stretch here. That'll be interesting right now to see how they are in this stage of the season. Because remember, we've got about a third of the season done now at 28 games. Just a little under a third of the season, right? No, it's
28 is past. That would be 84.
Yeah. So it's just over a third of the season. I think
it's like you're saying. It's a good mark. It's a good idea, but this 8 out of 10, that's more like a playoff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, no, because this will also put you at the halfway mark of the season.
Yes.
pretty much. And so now you're like, okay, now you kind of know what you are pretty much in that first half. And I think we'll get a good feel here. Myron says, "Oh, I believe my Niners can win anywhere in the playoffs. That's my opinion. I believe defense they have can win a championship. I know nobody believes in Jimmy Garoppolo. Understand, plus some players are back." Well, dude, it's not that nobody believes in Jimmy Garoppolo. It's that Jimmy Garoppolo is untested in the playoffs. He's untested for an entire regular season. Now he's been able to get through it. And he's had some pretty good moments. And I thought he got better as the season went on. I think as long as he stays away from turnovers, the beauty of that San Francisco team is you're not really carrying that team. The defense, the running game can kind of be the center points of the team, and the passing game can be the complementary part of it. You know, so I agree with you. I think your Niners can win anywhere. Right now, listen, Niners and Baltimore, right? I mean, that's what we have to look at and say that's the rematch that we're expecting in the Super Bowl now, because the Baltimore Ravens did beat the Niners the first go-around. So we're kind of expecting a rematch here with that great defense against that juggernaut of an offense right now. That would be a very interesting matchup for the Super Bowl and a great storyline because they played in the regular one result to lean on.
After they beat New Orleans, okay, and obviously 46-48, whatever that score was, it was like, yeah, but to lose to Atlanta at home, and we had talked about it, 205 yards passing, 134 of that to Kittles. Lack of receivers is an issue, but obviously running game and Kittles can counter. And look, lack of playoff experience, you can't buy it until you got it. It's a different animal. But we will get a good test when they play Seattle, in Seattle, and it's kind of like for that division. We'll know what's up.
Drew Bow is telling us, I think I'm feeling Herbert again. Just won the Campbell Award, and the last game he threw well. Yeah, but he didn't throw a lot, and the one touchdown was the guy was like wide open, like all by himself. He was so by himself he was bored. I breaks him. He's 6'6", 225, and broke multiple records at Oregon. Oregon is not really known for quarterback you or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Drubo, the problem here is desperation. And when you're desperate, like all of us are as Dol fans, these are the things that happen. Okay? I got some of the guys at the bar, obviously. They are rooting on a race at Gulfstream. Anyway, so desperation sets in for a lot of us because we haven't had a quarterback since Marino. And if you're young, oh my Lord, I feel terrible for if you're young because like Pennington is your watermark. That's like your high mark right now is the guy that was put together with Scotch tape. And so God, he has not convinced me whatsoever. And you're probably going to have to spend a really high pick on the guy, and he hasn't shown me dog. And that's my problem with Herbert, that I don't see that moxie from the guy. You know, and I don't have that level of trust that a lot of people may have with him. That's the thing. And for me, I just would not use my first round picks on Herbert. Listen, you get me two good first two picks, and Herbert is still available late first round, and you want to take him? All right, I get it. He's 6'6". I think he's actually closer to 235, 240, not even 225. Like he's a big kid. He's got a good arm and everything, decent athleticism, all of that. I mean, the good Lord blessed him with all the tangibles that you look for in a quarterback. Okay? That there's no doubt in my mind that he is on the all-runway team. He looks the part. Like when you see Ryan, Tannehill, great kid. You're not going to get the 2 a.m. call in the morning. Hey, coach, I got arrested. Hey, coach, I hit my wife. You're not going to get any of that from him, right? Athletic, got an excellent arm, right? Can run, all of these things, but not a great quarterback. He's on the all-runway team. All the other things look really, really good. But when the rubber meets the road, when the crap hits the fan, and you can come up with any other cliche you want, okay, and you need that guy to step up, I'm not ever counting on Tannehill. And right now, Justin Herbert has never shown me that. And that's why I cannot be on board with you, Drew Bowe, whatsoever early on. Late, you want to take a flyer on a guy, you have so many first and second rounders. Listen, if you take a project late first or second with 3 first rounders and 3 second rounders, hey, man, I'm good. 1 out of the 6 is a project quarterback. Go for it, man. Keep taking quarterbacks. You're never going to get one. So you trade one for last year. If it doesn't work out with Rosen, fine. You draft this guy. It doesn't work out, fine. Go get another one next year. And keep getting one and keep getting one and keep getting one. What you cannot do is what this franchise did for many, many years. Not get one. Or keep the same guy around for 7 years that every year never shows you he's the guy. This is the front office I want. They're going to keep drafting, keep trading, keep signing, keep whatever. They're going to keep, like they did this year, in filtering guys in and out of their roster. And people around go, well, no, they're trying to lose. No, dude, they're trying to find as many young players that they like. That's what they want to do. Why keep old guys around? Yeah, they're making you a little better and you'll win a 6th or a 7th game or whatever, but that doesn't do you anything. And it doesn't develop your team down the line. What develops your team is giving Dieter time, whether he's struggling or playing well. But Michael Dieter's getting the experience. That bodes well for you. Okay? Playing the Jordan kid, playing the Needham kid, playing whoever you can, any of these young cats, it helps you. It helps you every time they make a mistake because maybe they learn from that mistake and it's one less mistake they make next year. But no, keep focusing on tank. Go ahead. Take a chance later on Herbert. I got no problem with that. Even though I'm not a fan, give him a shot. I get it. Even Jordan Love. Although you got to kind of question Jordan Love a little bit, right? Because, dude, you're a quarterback. I get it. You're a college kid. College kids that, smoke a little weed, drink a little beer. It happens. Thousands of college kids are doing it all across the country. But if I'm a team and I'm looking at Jordan Love, I will say this. I'm a little concerned that Jordan Love chose to do this at a time when he's about to get drafted. You would figure that these few months here, dude, let me walk the straight and narrow. There's a time and a place after I get drafted, after I get tested right before training camp, like everybody else in the NFL knows. The test training camp, I pee, I pass, and I smoke for 11 months. And then next year again, the month leading up to training camp, because that's what they all do in the NFL, all the guys that smoke and aren't in the drug program, because see, morons, once you get busted, you get into the drug program. So don't get busted. Smoke for 11 months and stay off of it for 1 month. That's what they all do. And most of them end up passing their test. They never get in trouble because they're smart. So Jordan Love did not use smarts. He couldn't stay away from a little dope. He couldn't stay away from toke, pass, baby. He couldn't stay away from 420 for a couple of months. Come on, dude. It's like the guy that gets fined. Your agent's telling you to clean. He's going Motorhead on you. Stay clean. Many of you have no idea, never even heard that Motorhead song. Anyway, so just stay clean. And then you flunk the test in the combine. You gotta at that moment, if you're a team, you have to question that individual.
It just shows irresponsibility.
And also a lack
terrible.
of discipline. So if you have a lack of discipline for this, how many other things are you going to show me that you have a lack of discipline? Because if you cannot say, you know what, dude, I'm not going to smoke a joint for a couple of months. My agent says I need to be clean for the combine. I need to be clean for the teams. And then I'm going to get tested right before training camp. So you know what? I don't want to be embarrassed. I don't want to end up in the drug program. I'll wait till I get tested. Once I'm clean, then I can just smoke all I want for 11 months. I can do is sacrifice a couple of months. And if Jordan Love wasn't willing to sacrifice a couple of months, you have to question it. You have to. You have no choice. You must question it. And if I'm a team, I'm a little concerned about that. And now, here's a kid that wasn't going in the first round. Here's a kid that was going the second or third rounds. Here's a positive out of all of this. He's going to fall a little farther now. A couple of more spots. Miami has a ton of second rounders and a couple of third rounders. They might be able to get him later, a little later in the draft, and it's a project. I mean, hey, Tunsil, man. Now, the bong thing, the bong mask for Tunsil. You got your hair there, boy. Yeah, this is awesome. Man, this is the race that Tampa I'm crazy for. Anyway, so what was I leading into now? What was the part of the story I was leading into?
You were talking about
Tunsil. So when Tunsil got busted with the bong mask, it wasn't around the draft. That was a video that was like 2 years old. And then somebody, being an idiot, a financial advisor that he turned down because he chose another financial advisor. So that financial advisor wanted to be an a-hole and release the video. I know all those guys. Anyway, and so they screwed Tunsil. But it wasn't like Tunsil was smoking right before the draft to get himself in trouble. You know what I mean? And that's the difference in that story compared to Jordan Love.
But it's dirty, man. That
it's a dirty business.
Low life.
It's a dirty business when we were on the road. He's still in the business. Yeah.
Seriously?
Oh yeah.
Does anybody actually give him the time of day?
Because players don't end up doing their homework and they don't do the research and then they don't find out that he's the guy or whatever. That's the way it is.
You would think that something like that, man, would ruin your reputation and nobody would want to be anywhere near you. Why is this guy even in the circle?
Yeah. Well, I'm sure it ruined him to a certain extent, but now I'm sure he's trying to recover from it.
He deserves it.
Well, you'll see. We'll see him over at the East-West Shrine, and which we'll be broadcasting out there at the East-West Shrine game from Sunday through Wednesday. Especially, it's really not Sunday, Monday through Wednesday. Sunday, I'll probably do something at the house or in the studio or something like that, some short maybe. But Monday, broadcasting live out there. We're going to be staying at the team hotel. We're going to have a really good time out there. And remember, it's going to be like an all-day broadcast almost. Well, not all day because we got to go to the practices too. So we will watch the practices and then we will do our shows in between, either before practices, after practices. I mean, it's going to be one of those things.
It'll be kind of like in clips.
Yes.
We're going to do a segment, Bob, go.
Yes.
A segment, Bob, go, back and forth.
Yes.
Give people.
Yeah, because we've done it for many years where we stayed at the team hotel. We're back there again, staying at the team hotel. We got a great relationship with the folks at the East-West. 21st East-West Shrine game that I'm covering, man. 21 years now of going to the East-West Shrine game. So I'm really looking forward to it, and we'll get all those quarterbacks on the show out there, and whichever ones I may like also. We will try to do our best. And because we're not trapped in just a time slot, we're going to have a lot of flexibility. And because you've got the access to the YouTube channel, you're going to get the notifications the second, and you'll be able to go to it. I'm wondering if the website already, because our website is up, by the way. It's not finished yet.
Are we still in under construction status?
No. Well, I mean, yes, it's going to be under construction for the next, I don't know, maybe 2 years.
Right. But what I mean, actually moving, going in, and seeing, the live hit,
everything.
Because everybody. We're trying to button on the site, and you just hit that button and boom.
Yeah, no. But what I was talking about is the YouTube channel. I believe. See how they can hit all the podcasts as you update them. They're all there. All our podcasts are there on the website at Big O Radio Show. And let's see. And we have the YouTube channel embedded into the website, but it is not ready yet. It's not firing off yet. That's what I wanted to see, if it was firing off the website, but it is not yet. But it's there already, which is a beautiful thing. Website looks great, man.
I see our marketing partners, 300 Bees, that little army of bees. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. It is BigORadioshow.com. You can actually go to it now. You can check it out. BigORadioshow.com if you want to check out the website. It is up already at this point, and we're now starting to remember everything. We can't do everything overnight, but little by little, we are growing immensely, and we appreciate all of you out there that have been so supportive. We're going to have Andy Behrens join us here at the bottom of the hour. We're going to talk a little fantasy football. We'll have a little fun with Andy Behrens. If you have any fantasy football questions for you Super Bowl contenders out there, you Super Bowl folks, unless you're in the semifinals right now in Week 16, and like I say every year that I've said it for, 30 years that I've been doing radio and talking fantasy for 30 years on radio, quit that league. Okay? Quit that league. Tell the commissioner, and if you're the commissioner, what the hell are you doing? Your Super Bowl is supposed to be this week. Never make your Super Bowl in Week 17. Ever, 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 ever. It's so irresponsible. It really is not the right thing to do. Okay, so quit that league is my suggestion to all of you out there that have that. Okay? All right. The accidentlawfirm.com text line is 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105. And don't forget, our show is proudly brought to you by Choice Mortgage Bank. Michael Kodsey, man, he is amazing. And folks, listen, when you call them, tell them that Big O sent you, all right? Mention my name. They're going to take care of you at 561-441-2730. That's the owner's personal cell number, and we can still get you into state rates, fixed rates under 3.5%. So call them right now for those state rates under 3.5%. Sale, conventional, residential loans, condo loans, reverse mortgages, jumbo loans, FHA, VA loans. Call them right now for a free qualification and consultation. Nobody's going to work harder than Michael Kodsey and the great people at Choice Mortgage Bank.